What's going on, YouTubes? Time for recap. Oh, if you check set on X over here this morning, we were messing around a little bit, just posting the post, looking for those shorts in the area of 27, 24, 741, 24, 780, and we had a couple good scalps. We had a target below, which I will go over once we had the premium entry, which we will also go over. Talked a little about the ES trades that we had coming down. My Discord full of information this morning and all pre-market breaking all this stuff down for them. And my biggest short of the day would be under the 2618 here, all the way down to the golden pocket and the weekly fib you see there. So let me go into every little point of interest on how I called this short right here. We're going to start off at the NQ. We're going to go to the 15-minute chart. You know me in the fibs, you know me in the algos, right? Only indicator you ever need. If you're not using it, you're just trading blind. Going into triple no tag GP15. So 1, 2, 3 candles in a row with no golden pocket tag. This is one of our tried and true oldest of the old algo systems nowadays, right? So what do we talk about on fibs on cycling, right? When we draw a fib, we wake up for our New York open session, the pre-market comes up to the 1618, 2618, 3618, 4. Okay. And that's what we were looking at as the top, right? Because we had a full cycle, which means when you draw a fib point, it cycles to the tippy top of what we use, either the 3618 or the 423.6, right? I told my chat and posted a bunch of pretty pictures. I said we are heavily short under this consolidation zone, waiting for the sweep scam here, okay? So I posted a bunch of pictures, pretty little ones this morning here, that go under this right here for 729. This is where we got stopped on that first one that I posted. We shorted, got about 500 bucks off this one, popped this out at BE for the rest, no big deal. Just reshorted it up here. I ended up getting on this candle for the large break to the bottom side. And it was literally out just off one Fibonacci point. That's it, right? What else leads me to believe that we are coming back down after the pushback up long, which we also went over. I'll cover on ES on why we took off long at the open. Well, it is the 1 minute gap systems. Even though they did not hit, we're on a new contract. The volume displacement's a little different. I don't teach that much on YouTube, but a little different on new contracts. But if we look here on our gap indicator, we got my fat head in the way. There we go. 2 gaps right here. 1 right here, 1 right here, all no fills. Free little indicator if anybody joins our groups. All these TOS indicators are free. Automatic 1 minute gap finder. So we came into here and we got that last little pop back up here. The sweepy shorted everything here on the roll and was looking for the 1 minute gap. So if you do see this 1 minute gap, it is just one of the catalysts I would use for a magnet down. Now, everybody knows in my chat, I'm in early, out early all the time for easy management and easier grab of P&L. So if I'm targeting the 1 minute gap and I'm short up here, I covered about 3 contracts right away and I let one ride all the way down, and I covered it even before it filled the gap because I don't care about the last 3 to 5 points on a gap fill. I care about the 148 points I called for my crew today in the Discord for the short. I am not worried about hitting an exact target. We take those zones seriously, not perfect tags of anything, okay? So we had this beautiful short out of the gate, and then we had a beautiful long, right? Let's go over to our predictions here and where we're talking about for the ES. So we had an algo this morning on the SPY and this weekly target live tag. If you see the little text here, it says live tag needed. And where did I get that weekly? Well, if you if you watched the last few videos, you've seen us predict a few things with GP no tags on the dailies, even where the FOMC was going to bounce and go to on the short level, which was right here and right here. And then I told you guys where it would magnet today for a high percentile chance trade. You're looking at the weekly of 9-1. You're giving that fib a high low, and you're targeting the 1618 first tag. Why is that? Well, the same thing happened that I predicted in FOMC. It's just fibs repeating day after day. Here's a weekly no tag right here. That's the fib we used. Here's one that we had starting, right, this week. And then this is this week currently. So we had 1 no tag GP, 2 no tag GP on the weekly, okay? Let's go to the intraday and see what that looked like during the FOMC. And again, we did this last video, but here's that 100 on the weekly. Here's the 1618, right? Here's the daily 2 that came in, which means if you back up a little bit more, we need a longer chart. That second weekly right? Because this is the bottom fib on the weekly. Goes up, makes the second weekly, and that weekly came to these two GPs. So you notice it shy away from the 1618. FOMC drags her down to both of our GP no tag targets, runs it up overnight. Now I'll tell you again, I'll show you how we predicted the potential play out with statistical advantage here. What's the most, come on, load, viable thing we can see here, right? So I'm going to go back to our prior all-time high we just seen in that pre, right? I'm going to let TOS load because it's going to do some TOS stuff here. Oh, I see it already. Back here at 916. What is this little guy? Well, TOS still doing its thing. Looks like a gap to me. Volume displacement, my favorite thing on the 1 minute near the pre-market all-time high. We're just going to mark that out, 669650. Go back into that 5-day 15. There we go. Contract gap up for the week. Runs all-time high, leaves a 1 minute gap. That's it. Comes down to fill the 3 1 minute gaps we left open on the bottom side for FOMC. And that means anything above those gap fills, because these become giant algorithm displacements that find support. Now we have a whole channel right at a half whole dollar, 6650. FOMC comes down, hits our bounce points, rips back up, opens super strong, magneting right to the gap that was left open on the minute chart here. We have an impulse squeeze on that volume imbalance. So we got that 1 minute. That's where we knew it was coming up overnight. Scamming, straight up. And that brings us to today. And we had that impulse move over 6,700 because shorts will probably freak out there because they came up, had that lower high, popped, swept it with this candle, poofed it, gone. Another 19 points into all-time highs. So I woke up today and I was going right around here. I'm like, oof, we got the perfect short coming on. So let's talk about this one right here on ES as well real quick. Same thing applies, 15-minute triple no tag. The exact same triple candle pattern at open. We fibbed out the high-low of the triple 15 no tag, watched it run. Now, the most important thing is where it went after the 1618, okay? We draw that box, it hit the 1618 right here, and it never returned to the 100. Pay attention when I say this. It impulse ran all the way to the furthest extensions that I use, and then when we start to see the furthest extensions start to break down, no longer becoming support, we target the Fibonacci's that it shied prior. And that whole system right here can make you or break you, man. I'm telling you. I'll explain way more in the Fibonacci Cancer course coming out. Non-profit, no paid here, not taking any money from it, giving it away to families. End of the year, this course will be out. I promise you guys. It's a lot of work for somebody like me who doesn't know much about the big technicals. I just know how to trade. So into that 15, we break it back down, come all the way down to the target, massive short, back to long. Now, where is the massive short to long on the ES? I want to go over one more tiny thing with you guys, another algo system we had seen here in the morning for a 555, right? So this algo system also cool for the GP. We're not going to go over that. We're going to go to the 5-minute system here on pre-market SPY. And then we had 3 right here. So despite the 15-minute open, that was a triple no GP. We had another dude right here. That was a triple no GP. I'm going to extend that to the right, and you're going to see how absolutely mental this was. Triple no tag impulse, fib high low. Whoop, what does Brandon say? If it goes through the 1618, 2618, 3618, you short the 3618 to the 2618, to the 1618, to the GP, which just happens to be the 1618. Do you see the fib overlap and why it's so important to use these things? This is not a stock market indicator. Fibonacci is literally the essence of mathematical life. It's not a stock market indicator. Pay attention. 663. Where did we get that 663? You guys remember from the first part? Same thing on Qs that it is SPY. Huge weekly. No tag GP comes up to the 1618, but we never hit the 1618 during FOMC or anything. We shied it back here, which leaves an algo magnet open. The price action will drag to the 1618 as a magnet. This is why Fibonacci algorithms are so important. This is why I've seen this whole pre-market up here with a 555 with the best entry ever going, oh yeah, we're just going to come back down to the weekly. Like it even went for the whole gap fill, right? And here's the crazy part about the live tag of another algo. It's the same thing. Algorithms are just magnets here. 1618, and you've seen the tag in the beginning of the video, needs live tag. Called the whole wash, comes down to this area here, and then I seen the lung coming back to the weekly because we needed a live tag. Look where it opened. This is pre-market. This is live. You see the action here. Roll down just a little bit with all that Q's drama. Pushes back up, and I said the second SPY closes over yesterday's highs, which is right here in the orange dash line, auto-coded in our indicators for TOS. Closed here, went long. Grabbed a 10-pointer from right here. Frick. There we go. It was a little earlier than that, I guess, but it was closed right over here, and I grabbed it to the 10. I left a lot of meat on the bone, about 19 points, but we got her. Okay, so that netted us some really good P&Ls and some really good opportunities today to utilize the overlapping fibs and the algo magnet strategies that I teach on why FOMC went to where it goes, what candles to draw. You can even figure out half the system, probably 50-60% of my system, watching the live videos on how to draw Fibonacci correctly. It's all in there on the Saturday classes. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys want to see me do this stuff live, I stream for my group. Link is in the description every single morning. We got big text breakdowns. We got lots of information, 3 different teachers, all in the link below. Take care. Trade safe. We'll see you on the next.